Good morning over there.
Hiya, pal. How are you this morning?
Not bad. We're up anyway.
This isn't as I remember.
No.
About Grenada on the way and of course also on the stops. Dexter and I have been doing these tours already for a few years, so we know our way around. If you have any questions in between, feel free to ask. We're starting off this tour here in St. George's, which is the capital of the island. St. George's and surrounding area has approximately 20,000 people. But Grenada has a total population of roughly about 100,000. Here to your right, you see Sendal Tunnel.
There's the tunnel.
Now, Sendal Tunnel is the only tunnel on the island, and it's a one-way road. I'm stretching that point so much because we have other roads that are just as narrow, which are not one-way roads. And we're going to be traveling one of those today. Now, Sendal Tunnel is 115 years old and it passes below Fort George, which is a fort that you see right on top of the hill in front of us there. Sail, it is already about 1 o'clock. By the time they finish cleanup, it's 2 o'clock, and that's when you buy the best fresh fish. You see lots of school children in all ages. This school here with a light blue and dark blue uniform, that's a primary school. We just passed a pre-primary school and lower down we have a secondary school. That means all schools have their own school uniform. Students start going to school at the age of 3. Although it is called a pre-primary school, the children would go to school from about 8:30 to 1:30 or 2 o'clock. They would sit by their tables for most of the day. They do their pre-writing and reading lessons. At the age of 5, they move up to to primary school. Here to the right is the largest secondary school on the island with approximately 750 students. At the age of 12, the children need to pass an exam called Common Entrance Exam to determine into which secondary school they would move to. If they fail the exam the first time, they have a chance the year after. If they still fail it at that time, they remain in primary school and do a final school leaving exam at the age of 16. If they move on to secondary school, the students remain in secondary school until they're about 16, 17 years old. After they graduate, they can move on to the National College. Our college is accepted Caribbean-wide and in England as well. But if you want to go to university in the States, you have to do a final exam again, or you have to do 1 year in the college in the States before you can move on to the university. Here in Grenada, we have the University of the West Indies, which has a few subjects here in Grenada, a few subjects in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Antigua, in St. Lucia, many of the different islands. And we also have the American Medical School, which is for medicine as well as veterinary medicine. And eventually, a couple hours later, they will bring it back ashore, filled up with fish. And there are some men standing there already waiting on time. Everybody who's helped sold out in the market. And you can see the birds even know that it is fishing time.
What kind of fish do they catch?
All different types of fish. Now, in a way, fishing like this, you catch more the smaller ones, about that size so. You have snappers, you have tracks. Actually, it's
You could probably run a boat with that, Pop.
Well,
Actually, it looks like a
car rental is not used for that.
in different ways, right? In the pharmaceutical industry, the nutmeg is a pharmaceutical product. It's an instant pain reliever. You get a nut or straight spray
starting
on,
off as a mace.
instant pain reliever.
Now the
Nutmeg
farmer is
spray.
separating the mace
The oil
from the nutmeg.
Your oil, you rub it
Okay.
on for
The
arthritis,
mace,
pain.
can
And the
take a
next
smell.
one, you might get it. Or you
Let
will
everybody
get it.
take a smell.
Okay?
The first category of mace is used as a spice itself.
There are other products
For
that
example,
we
in
use
soups, okay, or for seasoning of meat.
The
The second category is used in the pharmaceutical area as well as medicine
shampoo
and
soap,
cosmetics.
stuff like that.
So you may know Vicks, you put it on your chest when you have a cold. Mace is a big part in that.
Yeah? Right.
Also, when you have gum sores, right? You have an irritated gum. You take about a tablespoon of the mace powder, pour some hot water, just a cup of hot water over it, let it steep for 5 minutes, and then you use the water to rub the gum where you have the cold sore. Some people gargle with it, but it really numbs the gum as well as the tongue. And numbing the tongue can be very uncomfortable. So I normally just take a cotton swab and just rub the gum wherever I have the cold sore. And it works excellent. Right? Then also it is used in the cosmetics. You crack it. Very easy to crack. Just have 2 nutmegs against each other. Or you use a nutcracker. And then inside you have the nutmeg as you know it. Right? The shell is used the way how you would use like bark from trees or small garden waste, garden waste to mulch. You put it in your flower beds, or you put it on a walkway. If it is muddy when it's raining, you put nutmeg shells on it, and then when you walk on it, you won't get muddy shoes. But the corners and the edges are quite sharp, so you don't want to walk on that bare feet. That's too strong. A nutmeg in that size can be deadly. Eating a whole nutmeg like that can be deadly. A tablespoon of nutmeg powder can give you hallucinations and high fever. Now those are not good hallucinations. They only start coming after about 20-24 hours,
and you feel extremely sick. I just had it confirmed a couple of weeks ago. A friend told me that his brother was brought to hospital of an overdose of nutmeg. He thought that he's using cinnamon and put a whole lot on his rice pudding and ate it. He likes the taste of it, but it was by far too much. So eventually, about a day after, he had to be brought to the hospital because he got so badly sick.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right? So, okay? Smell it right where I scratched it and passed it on. Cinnamon is taken from the bark. Now we cut down either a branch and peel the bark off, or we take the bark. So cinnamon is excellent if you are diabetic. Okay, there has been a study lately. Now, I have read about this study for a while now. I was telling my parents about it. But last week I actually had a lady standing right next to me. I was diabetic. And then you started to it is known as allspice, because when you take this berry in your mouth when it is still fresh, it's actually a berry, it's not a seed, it's a berry that is dried. When you take the berry in your mouth when it is still fresh, you have all the spices in your mouth that we have grown on this island. So it's called allspice. Right? And then we have this one.
How many spices are there on the island?
I don't know. I never counted them. But if we check, we have nutmeg, we have mace, we have cinnamon, we have clove, we have pimento, we have this one here, we have that.
What would they charge?
They would charge about $2 a pound of fish. See, I saw somebody there has a barracuda. You see, they come and bring their own bowls to make sure that they have it right there. Because of course the fishermen don't have anything to package the fish. So people come with their own bags or bowls. And then you see men helping on the shore to pull the net in. So you see, this is also community effort. Now we're coming to Guave. Guave is a fishing village. So people here live mainly from fish as well as nutmeg processing. Fest where 2 roads are blocked off and people prepare fish in any way that you could think of. So you have grilled fish, stewed fish, baked fish, fried fish, fish in any possibility, prepared and sold. And then you have your little rum shop, you have your live music, you have your steel band. It's like a street fest, right? Every Friday evening.
Wow. Good idea. So you definitely have to come back on a Friday, right?
This here is the market square.
There's a problem coming up.
So when they, after the 2 months, we take that grade.
Yeah, there is a school somewhere around here.
I saw that. It was
Yes, I know.
like a little small.
Good morning, Miss Neptune. It's me again. I gave Mariah the slip to go to the movies tomorrow this morning, but it seems that she has left it at home. But I gave her permission, so please let her go tomorrow. Okay. Which ones are? I believe Copper Falls has it. If not Copper Falls, then we'll get it back by the post.
They're bringing it out to fish.
Is there a certain time that's the best time to fish?
They do that in the mornings. They normally bring the net out before the sun beats down on them. And then they bring the net in a few hours later. And then they have the afternoon basically off and do the next morning the same thing again.
I think so. Do you know of any government regulations? No.
Caribs had a good taste for fine food as well, so the French didn't stay that long. 5 years later, the French came back, this time with horses. And for the Caribs, it was a strange sight to see those tall animals with 2 heads and 4 feet. Right? It's a strange sight, a horseman on a horse. So they run. Now, some of the Caribs were taken as slaves by the French, and the last 45 Caribs killed themselves jumping over the cliffs right up in the north where they couldn't run any further. The French then took Grenada over and colonized it, started bringing spices. England also took a liking on Grenada, and Grenada was going back and forth between England and France for quite a while. He brought Grenada into the independence. Although we still belong to the British Commonwealth, American soldiers invaded Grenada. Within a matter of 24 hours, while they were fighting with the Cubans, Grenadian students freed our
She's quite a character, isn't she?
make anything much out of it. But the tree is beautiful. You don't want to have it in your yard though. For a young plant, it takes 5 years, 4 to 5 years to bear one single pineapple. And then every year thereafter, it's bearing another pineapple. Okay? You don't see?
Zinnias, they're common, ordinary, ugly flowers.
Oh yeah? We paint every... Now when I brought my land in 2002, I paid $8 a square meter. And I just got a value.
We need a public library. Carenage, is that right?
Yeah, Carenage, yeah. I'm sure it's, but you know, that's what they... Office of the Governor.
Carenage.
Oh, you... Kidding caboodle.
You should take a walk around the city here. There's some nice features.
We just came from the harbor over there. Yeah, we were just down there.
Because you have a panoramic view like before.
Yeah.
Yes. You want to take my photo?
Sure. Right, Suzanne. Yeah. Yeah.